Breaking news for camera enthusiasts everywhere. Sony's powerhouse all-in-one zoom camera, the beloved RX10 IV, has officially reached the end of its product lifecycle. According to multiple Japanese e-commerce sites, this versatile super zoom has now been listed as discontinued. While you can still find units available at major retailers like Amazon and B&H for now, Sony's mega zoom marvel is officially on its way out. But what led to this decision? And more importantly, what might Sony have planned next? Let's dive in and explore. The Sony RX10 IV wasn't just another camera, it represented the pinnacle of the all-in-one super zoom category when it launched. What made this camera special was its appreciable versatility, packed into a relatively compact body. With its 24 to 600mm equivalent focal length range, you could capture everything from wide landscapes to extreme telephoto shots without changing lenses. This 25x optical zoom range, paired with Sony's excellent 1-inch 20-megapixel sensor, made it a go-to option for wildlife photographers, travel enthusiasts, and videographers who needed a versatile tool without the hassle of carrying multiple lenses. This RX10 IV improved on its predecessors with super-fast autofocus, featuring 315 phase detection points covering approximately 65% of the frame. This technology allowed it to acquire focus in just 0.03 seconds, making it perfect for action photography. Combined with 24 frames per second burst shooting with full AF/AE tracking, it was essentially a wildlife and sports photography powerhouse that fit in a single package. For video shooters, the RX10 IV offered 4K recording with full pixel readout and no pixel binning, producing remarkably detailed footage. Its slow-motion capabilities allowed recording at up to 960 frames per second for those dramatic action sequences. These features positioned the RX10 IV as an excellent hybrid shooter that could handle nearly any photography or videography situation. The big question everyone's asking: why discontinue such a successful camera? The RX10 IV was released back in 2017, which in technology terms is practically ancient. While it has remained competitive due to its excellent design and features, technological advancements in sensors, processors, and autofocus systems have certainly outpaced this aging model. Moreover, the camera market has shifted significantly in recent years. Smartphone photography continues to eat into the consumer camera market, while serious enthusiasts are increasingly drawn to interchangeable lens mirrorless systems that offer more flexibility. The super zoom bridge camera category that the RX10 IV dominated has become somewhat of a niche, caught between increasingly capable smartphones and more versatile mirrorless systems. Competition has also heated up. Panasonic's FZ1002 and FZ2000/FZ2500 models offer similar capabilities at lower price points, while Nikon's Coolpix P1000 pushes zoom capabilities to extreme levels with its 125x optical zoom. These alternatives have put pressure on Sony's premium-priced RX10 IV, which has maintained a relatively high price point throughout its life cycle. This is where things get interesting. Sony hasn't officially announced a successor to the RX10 IV, leaving fans of the series wondering what might come next. Given Sony's typical product cycle and their commitment to innovation, we have several possibilities to consider. The most obvious path would be an RX10 V that maintains the successful formula while updating key components. We hope to see Sony implement their latest generation sensor technology, perhaps with improved dynamic range and low light performance. The Bion's XR processor found in newer Sony cameras would be a welcome addition, bringing faster performance and enhanced image processing. Autofocus technology has advanced significantly since the RX10 IV's release. Sony's latest AI-based subject recognition and tracking would make perfect sense in a camera designed for wildlife and sports photography. Imagine the RX10's versatile zoom range paired with Sony's real-time IAF for humans, animals, and birds. That would be a game changer for wildlife photographers. For video, we hope to see 4K 60 FPS recording capability, something the RX10 IV lacked. Perhaps even 10-bit internal recording to keep up with competitors like Panasonic. Better heat management for extended recording times would address one of the few complaints about the RX10 IV. What about the lens? The 24 to 600 mm f2.4 to 4 Zeiss Vario Sonar T lens was already exceptional, but we could see Sony pushing the boundaries with an even greater zoom range, or perhaps a slightly faster aperture throughout the range. Improved optical stabilization would complement this nicely, especially at the extreme telephoto end. We have to consider another possibility. Could Sony be exiting this segment entirely? The camera market has contracted significantly, and manufacturers are focusing on their most profitable lines. For Sony, that's clearly their alpha mirrorless cameras and lenses. The fixed lens RX line, while beloved by many, may not represent the future direction Sony wants to pursue. If you look at Sony's recent product releases, they've been heavily focused on their full-frame and APS-C mirrorless systems. The compact RX100 series saw its last update with the RX107 in 2019, and now the RX10 IV is discontinued without an announced successor. This could indicate a strategic shift away from the premium fixed lens camera market. That said, the super zoom category still has dedicated fans. For photographers who value versatility and all-in-one convenience, these cameras fill an important niche that neither smartphones nor interchangeable lens systems can match. Have you ever tried changing lenses while on safari or in dusty conditions? The appeal of a high-quality super zoom becomes immediately apparent in such situations. With the discontinuation announcement, you might be wondering if you should grab an RX10 IV while stock remains. Despite its age, the RX10 IV remains an extremely capable camera that can produce excellent images and video. If its feature set meets your needs and you can find it at a good price, it could still be a worthwhile investment. However, you should consider a few things before making the purchase. First, how important are the latest autofocus technologies and processing capabilities to your photography? If you're shooting fast-moving subjects regularly, newer systems might offer significant advantages. Second, consider the value proposition. With no direct replacement announced, some retailers might discount remaining stock, potentially making the RX10 IV a better deal than it was previously. On the other hand, if prices remain high, the value proposition becomes questionable for a discontinued model. Finally, think about Sony's lens ecosystem. If you're already invested in Sony's E-mount system, would you be better served by adding a telephoto lens to your existing camera rather than purchasing a separate super zoom? For some photographers, a body like the A6400 paired with a versatile zoom might offer more flexibility than the RX10 IV. Looking beyond Sony, the super zoom category continues to evolve. Panasonic and Nikon clearly see value in this market segment, with both companies continuing to develop and release new models. The question for Sony will be whether they see enough market potential to justify developing a successor to the RX10 IV. What would make you excited about a potential RX10 V? Would improved autofocus, better video specs, or perhaps a longer zoom range be the feature that convinces you to upgrade? Or would you prefer Sony to maintain the existing formula but update the internal technology to modern standards? So here we are, saying goodbye to one of the most impressive all-in-one cameras ever created. The Sony RX10 IV really was something special, wasn't it? A camera that could literally do it all, from capturing your kid's soccer game, to photographing birds in flight, to recording beautiful 4K video, all without changing a single lens. That convenience factor is something we just don't get with interchangeable lens systems, no matter how compact they've become. It's a bittersweet moment for camera enthusiasts. On one hand, discontinuation often signals the end of an era, but on the other, it opens the door to exciting possibilities. Remember how we felt when the RX10 III was discontinued, and then Sony surprised us with the amazing 4 model that pushed boundaries even further. For those of you who've been on the fence about getting an RX10 IV, this might actually be your moment. Retailers often discount discontinued models, and even at several years old, this camera delivers results that can still impress. The tech might not be cutting edge anymore, but those images and that incredible zoom range remain as valuable as ever. So, that's all about the Sony RX10 IV. What do you think about Sony's decision to discontinue the RX10 IV? Are you hoping for a successor, or do you think the era of premium super zooms is coming to an end? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As for everything else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.